Hi everybody!
What's up?
Hey family, welcome to my channel. It is
Sam
and Bibi, and we are doing a marriage related video. It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while.
What? We're doing a what?
So as you guys know, as we started this series, we have talked about conflict, we've talked about money, we've talked about purpose, we have talked about parenting. A little bit.
Parenting, yeah.
As Nigerians in the diaspora, we're going to do more of a general parenting video soon. In fact, we have a ton of marriage-related videos to do, but without making too many excuses, obviously hubby has quite a long commute.
Yes, I do have really long days, so it kind of makes it difficult to do these videos.
Honestly, I'm super grateful to Sam being able to do this. It's really late right now. He's had, like a 3-4 hour commute. When we talk about marriage, I definitely want to make sure I have my husband here with me because I feel it's better to have more of a balanced view where we can both give our own perspective, obviously based on God's word, and I feel that can give a better overall viewpoint on it. Obviously this video we're talking about going on marriage retreats, and we'll explain why we believe it's really important to go. Is that I've been approached quite a few times by guys and even messages from guys as well saying how they watched our channel.
Sliding into your DM. Is that what they say? Slipping, tripping. I don't know what they say. Something about DMs.
It's all very inside. I'll show you the messages.
I haven't seen all of them.
But it's just been really nice. So even maybe speaking to women who say they found my channel through their husband, who showed them the videos. So I think it's just nice when we're both able to be in these videos as well, because I think it's encouraging for other men and husbands. So why are we talking about this topic today, and why is it so important for us to be discussing and encouraging each other to go on marriage retreats, or retreats for those who are seriously courting or engaged as well?
You know, you get back what you put into these things, and you have to be kind of really intentional going into it, definitely, because you can't just like be a passenger. Although you'll get something, but the more you put in, the more you get out of it. Mm-hmm. We came back with a long list of, things we're really happy with, and, reasons why everyone should go to it. But just to be brief, we've got 3.
You're narrowed down to 3 reasons.
3 reasons why you and your spouse should go to a marriage conference.
Okay, let's go. Right, so the first reason is building unity in marriage through a shared experience. Yeah,
so Ecclesiastes teaches us that although one may be overpowered, 2 can withstand. And a threefold cord is not easily broken. So the opposite of a threefold cord is a couple that is living a parallel life.
Like just doing everything.
Yeah. And just not really ever intersecting on an intimate level, not doing things as one. It's almost like it becomes like kind of a competition. And that drives a wedge, in the marriage. It leaves a gaping gap.
Like for the enemy to come right
just
in.
Like a lane. It's leaving the fast lane.
Like, if I put my hand here, I'm doing my own thing, Sam's doing his own thing, and I'm like trying to be boss chick and doing these things by myself, and Sam's doing his own thing by himself, and we're not intertwining on an intimate level. You see that gap? It leaves a place for the enemy to just put a wedge right in the middle
and
of your marriage.
Wider and wider. Mm-hmm. And it may seem like the marriage is all right, like he knows his area, I know my area, but deep down you're not strong, you're not that tightly knit too. As the verse says, the tightly knit two can withstand, but the threefold cord is not easily broken. And that third strand is
so important.
Exactly, because that's our relationship with God. That is like the most important part.
When you go on these retreats, they remind you, A, you're together anyway, and 2 can withstand, but then 3 can endure, 3 being God inside your relationship. So by being at these retreats, they really just remind you of the importance of God in your relationship, because these are Christian-based marriage retreats, and that's going to give you the endurance in your marriage to go the long haul. When we talk about it being a shared experience, if you think about marriage retreats are just one way to step away from the day-to-day busyness of life and just be able to focus on the 2 of you and build up your marriage, and without, distractions of family to-dos, without distractions of chores and electronics and all those things that can really stop you doing important things like communicating one-on-one and really talking about hard issues together. And so by doing this together, it's going to build unity, because it's forcing you, I won't say forcing you, but it's putting you in a situation where you're going to have to discuss the hard things. You're going to have to discuss really big topics in your marriage. And so that's why I would say it's one of the best reasons. It's going to build unity. Okay, so the second reason is marital growth.
Yeah, so Proverbs teaches us that wisdom is the principal thing. So get wisdom, and in all you're getting,
get understanding.
Yes. I like that. Somebody say amen. Anyway, so now preparation. It's amazing how many couples are just not adequately prepared for marriage. You know, we're not perfect. We're learning, and we're still learning. You think it's amazing. People invest so much in careers. You know, you research it, you find out every last thing about the company, what the CEO had for breakfast before you go into an interview, and people really invest time into
like even studying,
careers.
like for your career, what's like 4
exactly.
or 5 years for us to get into our professional careers.
Yeah, architect, engineer, doctor, dentist. We prepare so much, but we don't even get maybe 1 to 3 months of preparation for a marriage, which is something that's ultimately more important than any career.
I'd love to know in the comments below how long you spent on marriage counselling before your marriage, because I hear some people had none and some people only had like a couple of weeks.
We're somewhere in between.
But we didn't have as much as I wish we had done,
yeah.
you know, in terms of preparing for marriage.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, if our income was contingent on, you know, how great our marriages are, I guarantee, you know, people will spend so much, into their marriages. You know, it's like, wow, if I want to be driving that Bentley, I need to sort my marriage out. You know, that would make such a big difference. And the other thing is, like, we're coming up to 6 years? Coming up to 6 years, and it's amazing how much learning there's still, you know, we still have to do.
I say you never should stop being a student of your spouse, is the takeaway from what I've found from these retreats, or just from learning in general. Like I said, a lot of people mainly spend like 1 to 3 months on marriage counselling, or read 1 or 2 books, and then boom, they're married. But and then when they get married, they don't do any upkeep. And even in our professions, we're constantly having to do CPD and training.
Exactly.
Even though we've already got the degree, we've got the certificate, we're constantly trying to become better, keep up to date. And I think in a way we should have that same mindset towards marriage, and hence for us, we do go on these retreats regularly. We at least once a year, we do read marriage books, we do read, you know, listen to podcasts, and obviously read the Bible as our foundation on where our marriage should be, and constantly communicate on that. But it's about being intentional about your marriage way more than you are about other areas in your life. The other great thing is you'll learn how to manage conflict a lot better, and that's definitely an area we're constantly growing in. And I guess avoid those 2 extremes of, what you say, like like stonewalling on one end, or like completely going crazy and exploding on the other.
Throwing stuff. No, we don't recommend that.
Like those are 2 extremes that obviously we see when people are not managing conflict in a healthy way. And you know, by, I guess, going through sessions and really learning from them, you'll learn how to cultivate a better way of managing your emotion. So you're learning how to, I guess, speak the truth in love.
Number 3, like-minded community. Now, Hebrews teaches us to stir each other up in love and good works, and not to neglect meeting together.
And Proverbs talks about iron sharpening iron.
So obviously in our marriage is not easy, and it sometimes can be very difficult, it can be very confusing, and in our throwaway culture, you know, which encourages us to just, if it's not working, ditch it. You could be good by yourself, or you find someone else. It can be so easy just to give up on our marriages. But when you go to marriage conferences, you can take comfort in knowing that there are other people that are experiencing the same thing as you.
I feel there's like this transparency, because sometimes when you're just out in your day-to-day life, people are not sharing what they're really going through. And that's something I feel that we experienced in the first year of marriage. We were like, marriage is tough, and no one's saying anything. Everyone's just showing the highlight reel of marriage, or even acting like everything is perfect. And I guess you don't have to just go to marriage retreats for this, but in these scenarios, people are really intentional about being honest. And if they're not, the speakers and the whole purpose is going to encourage you, not force you, but encourage you to be real with yourself and what you're going through. And not so we can all look at each other and think, oh gosh, your marriage is not, my marriage isn't that bad, or imagine what they're going through. But no, there's a central aim where no matter what season people have come to these conferences, some come as preventative, some come for a little tune-up, and some people come as a last-minute ditch attempt. If this doesn't work, we're leaving each other. Like the scripture says, I mentioned, we shouldn't forsake the importance of gathering together. I know that's obviously in like a church context as well, but even in these communities where we are all believers, and no matter what sin has been committed, no matter what issues we're having, we all have the important values of love and forgiveness, and those core values which sometimes the world might not always understand, but we're able to be in a community where we get biblical truths into our situation. So we look at it through the lens of Christ, we look at it through the lens of scripture, we look at it through the lens of truth, and we can rightly divide the word and use that to help us make our marriages better. And not only our age as well, peers, we've got younger couples we're able to pour into and I guess learn from as well, and we've got older couples as well. And what would you say the older couples give us?
I think it's just wisdom. It's just wisdom,
perspective,
just getting us ready for, you know, what's coming up in the future.
And that's a community that was built at these retreats, but has followed us throughout our lives, where we can call on each other, encourage each other. As the years go by, we only, I guess, build up more friendships. Let's face it, if you go back home and people are not believers or people are not encouraging you to stay together, it's not going to be long before that fire kind of fizzles. And that's why it's important for us to do things in community. Okay, so those are our top 3 reasons why we believe you should attend a marriage retreat. And I didn't even mention we're matching.
Are we? Didn't even notice.
In fact, when we went out last time, people were like congratulating us on that anniversary. I was like, no, your wife is just extra. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's just to, I guess, get the conversation going between you and your significant other about attending. And like I said, I feel it's probably not hard for me to do a video on going to a conference as a woman, because I know, to be honest, a lot of women enjoy going to conferences. Many of us go to, you know, a lot of women ministry events. But I do want hubby to just share a bit of his perspective on going. In a way, I hope this kind of encourages a guy, if he's watching with you, or any guys who are watching, and maybe give ideas on ways you can speak to your husband if he needs a little bit persuading, not nagging, just persuading on going on these marriage retreats.
Kind and gentle
spirit. You have to go together.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said before, I had, you know, preconceptions or misconceptions.
You were like, I'm not going on no marriage retreat.
Yeah, exactly. I always thought it was like, these things are anti-men, you know, it's just your wife wants to go for a weekend away where the speakers just, you know, tell the men to love your wife more, you know, let your wife do what she wants. Why are you like hiding the money from her? And I was completely wrong. You know, most of the time it's something she's picking up that makes her an even better, you know, wife, and gets an even better state of mind, and it helps the marriage, and you pick things up as well. So it's not a case of that it's, you know, pro women and tailored against men. It definitely works for both of you, and like when you meet other couples together, you rub off each other. So, you know, I think if you haven't attended it, I'll definitely recommend it. For the guys out there, you know, let's grow these marriages, you know, and let's invest in our marriage and help our helpmeet. So yeah, definitely do it.
Help our helpmeet.
Hey, that's mine. Copyrighted.
And also, we do want to end with our marriage couples challenge. Yeah, couple conversation challenge. Trying to think of a name for it at the moment. And this one's pretty simple. We just want you guys to get the conversation going, and maybe put it on your bucket list as going on a conference or retreat within the next year. I'd say would be a good idea. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything too flamboyant or expensive. If you can't afford like a big retreat away, you can definitely do, like, we start off with just like day conferences here and there, or even if you find your local church is doing something. Obviously do your research and make sure it's Bible based and you're really going to get out of it what you need. But I definitely recommend doing something that involves intentionally investing in your marriage, where you're together at least once a year.
Get it on the budget, start the conversation, you know, and just do one.
Just do it. Alright, well, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and we shall see you in our next one. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.